Bro.
Hey, Lewis, I'm sorry. Listen, Lewis, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Look, here's the deal. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for me, man. All right? You already won, man. Just say something for other people. Say some stuff for other people. Listen,
let's go.
You black, I'm black. Ain't nobody gonna know the difference. I got it.
I'm gonna race. No, seriously.
I'm sorry, Lewis. I'm sorry.
You better win, man. You better win! Will!
This is the Simpit. I'm your host, Sean Cole, and welcome to today's edition of the Pit Stop. For you, the pit crew, you are here to be part of the show. You are the real star of today's show. Happy happy hump day to you all out there. Hope you're having a great week so far. And what about that intro today, huh? I probably get in trouble for playing that. Probably lost monetization on this video. Who knows? But the most important thing is that video is funny as can be. I'm not even a huge Lewis Hamilton fan, but they played that pretty well, and it made me laugh. I know a lot of you have seen it because I saw it all over Facebook, everywhere. But I did think it was a very funny video done by Will Smith and Lewis Hamilton. And I got a good chuckle out of it, and I think it just shows you, he said it perfectly. It's like, you've already won. Who cares? Who cares? This ride could be anything. Anyway, I thought that was great, and perfect for a Wednesday. Perfect for a hump day. So, what's going on in sim racing today? What do we got to talk about? Again, we're slowing the show down. We're talking a little less tech. Taking a little more time with certain topics, certain things. Tom Jones, the real star of today's show. Thank you, buddy. Tom Jones. So, anyway, Wednesday. I like Wednesdays. I like every day. It's hard to find me not in a good mood. But, so what is going on in sim racing? Okay, this is nothing. This is a nothing story. Who cares? GT Sport, but it is at their main page, so we will talk about it very quickly. The victory bonuses for the FIA Gran Turismo Championships 2018 World Finals have been distributed. I don't even know what that means, because to be honest, I got to be honest with you guys, I don't play enough GT Sport. I've touched it, I've flavored it, but I don't partake in it. But anyway, I guess if you were involved with the winning teams, whether it be the Nations Cup or other events, I'll show you the other events, but first place gets 2.5 million credits and 10,000 mileage points. Second place, insert turbo. Psh, psh. I did catch that at the end of yesterday's stream, and I almost went back live again just to give you a turbo. Psh, 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 psh. Oh my God, Thawman! Setting the world on fire! Oh my God! Thawman, man, you do too much already. Thawman, Mr. Thawman, I tell you guys, he had retired from sending the news officially, and yet he still sends the news every day. Thawman, thank you so much. Yesterday's race brought a worldwide community together. I agree. That was a really awesome event. We need more of those, and we sure do. Please work with that great group of racers, collect sponsors, and bring Sim Racing Expo North America into fruition. Here's a contribution towards that goal. It is so funny you say that, Thawman. I had multiple conversations yesterday about Sim Expo North America, where we would do it, how we would do it, how do we get the ball rolling, and I want you to know that that is officially in conversation. I was going to say in the works. That's a little too strong wording, but with your contribution, I think it shows just how seriously we need such a thing here. Anyway, okay, so Nations Cup, again, Igor Fraga won, so I'm not sure how you are associated with him and how you'd get the credits also. And if this is just credits to these guys, it's like, well, isn't that celebrating something really insignificant? Anyway, I'm sorry, but I'm just sort of not super duper knowledgeable in my GT Sport. I need a GT Sport person, somebody who's going to be my expert in GT Sport and Forza and everything out there on Planet Sim, I guess. Hey, Mitchie, welcome to the show. Hello, everybody out there. I see a lot of our regulars, Steam King, Spatial, Amir, Tom Jones, of course. Everybody in the house, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for being part of the show. Anyway, that's it. And does anybody care? Does anybody care about the mileage bonus? I think that's sort of a type of story. I care more about this, that's for sure. We showed Ray Alfala laying down there at Homestead with his 4 trophies. I don't know if you guys remember that shot. That was an incredible shot. But I forgot, you know, the guys in second and third place also do get kudos and trophies. But Ryan Lusa, there's his, from Cypress, Texas, there's his second place trophy in the Peak Antifreeze NASCAR iRacing Championship. And third place going to Michael Conti from Wonderland Park, New Jersey, getting the third place in that same series. The hardest oval series there is on planet Earth, hands down, in my opinion. Those guys deserve more accolades on the esport level than they truly get, in my opinion. T-Bone completely forgot about it. Anyone want to be your motion sim? VR. I recently used the Vive Pro, and I think it is almost, if it was more affordable, I would buy that hands down. It's good enough that now I don't want an Oculus even at $350 or $340. All right. Despite Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and all those things being over, R Factor still is on sale until 1900 CET. So if you want to get R Factor 2 for 50% off, it's a good game. It's certainly worth its price, and certainly worth its price at 50% off. You can still take advantage of that at Steam. That's all I have there on that one. Project Cars 2, reminder, 4 days to take part in their selfie video. It was a selfie video, not a selfie image. But, again, winning gear for nothing more than a video, it's got to be worth a try. I mean, you know, just do something silly or clever is probably good enough. It might be just the context of the length of your video and what you show, but you could win a McLaren GT3 rim, which I'm testing that right now. That is not a bad rim at all. Really good rim for the money. A CSL wheelbase and a CSL Elite pedal set. That's basically, you know, one of their eSport ready-to-go type kits. We're going to talk about that. Yeah, Mitchie, it would have been cool if you had been there for sure. Absolutely. R Factor 2. I see Darren's in the show. Mitchie will tell you what he thinks about R Factor 2. Anyway, so Race Room. I don't have any new news. This is yesterday's news, old news. Certainly not fake news, but it is true news. But yesterday was an incredible event. Not sure how many of you are in here with me right now. I think Billy Strange is here. Yesterday was a really cool event, and maybe that's what I want to talk to you guys a little bit about yesterday's event. But yesterday you had something unusual. I'm not going to say it's the first, because R Factor had done something like this with the Formula E series, and they had a bunch of sim racing celebrities man, it's hard for me to use the word celebrity, but in the case of the sim world, I'll use the word celebrities. But, you know, you're talking about Jimmy Broadband, Gamer Muscle, some really big names that I'm not even aware about because I'm just Sean Cole as Simpit doing my thing. But I was invited there as well, and it was the Race Room GT4 live preview. And these are the cars we've been talking about. I think they're down today. Are the cars coming out today? I'm not sure, but what it was a really cool event. It was an opportunity to test those cars out, not just test them in single-player mode, but test them out in competitive racing. So what you had was all of the sim racing YouTubers, essentially, for lack of better wording, going at it head-to-head in the GT4 cars, along with some of the developers, and a few aliens were there as well. So it wasn't like the media guys were going to go 1, 2, 3. There were some absolute aliens in the group. Yaroslav Honzik, George Ortner, who put it all on, or at least he sent me the invite. So Race Room's done this in the past. So yeah, it's not a new idea, but I think maybe this time there are more sim racing celebrities than ever before too. So it did kind of make it. Anyway, what was great is it was a chance to try out that Porsche Cayman, the Lotus Evora, and the KTM Crossbow, and in GT4 configuration. And for me, this was interesting. I'm going to be straight up with you guys, and maybe you guys can lend your opinion or thought. You know me, I love every sim, and I'm always looking for the best aspects of a sim, you know, and what it does better than other sims. And Race Room does some things as good or better than others. I mean, I really like the race room graphics, first of all. I think it's a beautiful looking sim. Their car modeling is really good. Their sounds are really good. Their physics are good, but not great. And for me, it was really tough to adjust to the physics coming from iRacing. Maybe if I was coming from Assetto Corsa more regularly, it might have been an easier transition. But for a good portion of that event, I was having a hard time feeling my tires like I'm accustomed to. It took me at least halfway through that event to even feel like I was competent and could really start to push. But anyway, it was fun. GT4 cars, I don't know. They're kind of a miserable group. I mean, I thought and was hoping it would be like a Mazda MX-5 race where like the cars just can't get away from each other. It's just like 3 wide every opportunity. And these cars didn't seem to use the draft and stay in the game quite as well as like the Mazda MX-5. So what you ended up with was a car that was a little slow and really had great handling, but then at the same time were really twitchy. They were twitchy cars, and we had no time really to get set up. I'm not a setup guru, so on short notice I can't do anything but take some fuel out, to be honest with you. I could have softened it up a little bit, but you know what? There's as much chance of me making it worse as better. Anyway, the reason I'm talking about this is any of your thoughts on Race Room and what it brings to the table and how it ranks as far as sims go. I think it's a really fun sim. I think it has some great content. I think it's one of the better force feedback sims out there. I enjoyed the force feedback that I was using. And then the other question is, what do you think about an event like that with all the big heads of states going to it? And did you watch any of the stream? Did you watch Race Room stream? Did you watch my stream? Did anybody get out there and see Jimmy Broadbent's stream? How was it from the perspective of the other YouTubers? I don't even know. I was so busy doing mine. I wasn't even talking much during my stream because I was so focused on what's going on. Anyway, I want to thank them for putting it on. It was a great time. If you didn't get a chance, you can see my video and, you know, go check out your favorite YouTuber or other YouTubers. Chances are they have a version of the race from their perspective yesterday as well. So anyway, that's all I have to say about that. It was a lot of fun, and again, it is yesterday's news, but something worth talking about in real time. Now, this is funny. I follow the crew, and this was sort of like coming up on all my radars except for my main radar. But the crew 2 apparently is going after Wreckfest. Apparently, Ubisoft, with the crew 2, has included, or is this the right video, or did it switch videos on me? It might have, nah, hold on. Yeah, here, look. They're going Demo Derby, apparently. They're going to add a Demolition Derby mode to the crew. There it is, Demolition Derby. So what are your guys' thoughts? A lot of you guys play Wreckfest with me, and I would say that Wreckfest, man, I would put that in the nominations for Game of the Year, the Simmies. And I would definitely say that Wreckfest is a candidate for Game of the Year. Anyway, Demolition Derby, is that going to change the crew too? You know, I'm still waiting. There are games that I wait on people to be like, hey, I really want to get your opinion, or hey, I've been playing this and you don't cover it. You really need to get into it. That happens all the time with me. Like, you don't cover this sim enough, and here's why you should. I've yet to get that email about the Crew 2 or Dakar. And when I do, I'll probably give it a try or put it on the show just to let you know. But Demo Derby, is that going to be the game changer? Is that going to get you to go buy the Crew? Is that motivation or inspiration for you on a game that I so far haven't been all that excited about? I think one person out there told me that they did like the Crew, but it was barely worthy of going still. Crew 2 is a Demolition Derby already. Bam! Dan DiMaggio with the quick wit. Doug Hawley's glad he has it. Awesome. All right, Kart Sim. I think this I made it my thumbnail today. I think I missed this in yesterday's news, even though I had it on my radar. Maybe this is one of the pages that failed during the show. But race department talking about Kartcraft build 0.1.0.1455. So Kartcraft getting another update. This is one I need to go try. I've heard some mixed reviews. I've heard really good people have hope for the future. They're optimistic about what Kartcraft could become, but it sounded like they weren't quite there just yet. Anyway, so that's that. But there is an update, so all of you who have it might be worth trying again. And if all of you love it, and I need to be covering it now, you just need to let me know these kind of things. Send me an email, Sean, SHAUN at thesimpit.com. All right. PRI. Performance Race Industry. What is PRI? I can never remember what PRI stands for, and I really should, because one of my friends' dads actually owns the company. Anyway, PRI trade show in Indianapolis is going on right now. Rick Motech is going to be there. They are going to be in the, we got the name there, the Tech something booth. We'll get that in a moment. They're going to have a simulator challenge and a Tritech Motorsports simulation challenge. And it looks like it's going to be in a Mazda, running full-blown simulator built by Rick Motech, and you can win an Apple Watch 4. I want an Apple Watch 4 pretty bad, but I got this one instead. But anyway, I wanted an Apple Watch 4 really badly, and I was almost going to switch from being a Samsung guy to an iPhone guy just to get the Apple Watch. I'd go all the way to Indy just to win that. But if you're in the middle of Indy or you go to PRI, be sure to look for, what was that, Tritech Motorsport, and you can do the Rick Motech Simulator Challenge there. And that's going on. Do we have dates for that trade show? We have dates? I don't have dates. But if you're a racing fan in that area, you know PRI. I've actually wanted to go to PRI, Performance Racing Industries. I did get it right. Isn't that what I said? What else? Okay, McLaren Shadow. They had over 500,000 people enter this year's McLaren Shadow project. And this Saturday, the 8th, is that this Saturday? That's not this Saturday. Oh, this Saturday. Sorry, I read that wrong. This Saturday, 8 semifinalists will battle it out for a chance to progress to the grand finals in January. So this is going on. Here's another one here. This at McLaren Shadow. This is a big deal. McLaren, think about McLaren. Think about all the things that McLaren is doing related to sim racing. McLaren is thinking, like, McLaren might show up at Sim Expo next year. Who knows? Or Sim Expo North America next year. Next year. McLaren, the relationship with the Vive. They've got the McLaren World's Fastest Gamer, McLaren's Shadow. Simultaneous to, they are one of the teams in the whole F1 2018 series. But more than that, they did more to promote their drivers and be a big part of it than most of the other teams as well. McLaren is really making moves in the world of sim racing, and we're going to have to keep our eye on the future. They're going to, who knows what's coming. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw McLaren sim. Who's to say we couldn't see something like that? Maybe they built a sim for their own esport competition because they decided they're going to rule that world. But let's keep our eye on McLaren for sure. But anyway, this Saturday you can watch the finals, or the semifinalists, and see the 8 guys shoot it out. We know some of the guys, so we had Christian Knutski from the Logitech G Challenge. We've seen some other winners. Here's, what was his, Ibrahim Al-Mubarak, with the win from the Bahrain tournament. So anyway, the 8 finalists that we have, or semifinalists, are going at it Saturday, and you can watch that. You can find all the information at McLaren Shadow on Twitter, and I think it's being done live. I'm not sure through that page or YouTube or something, but we'll stay up on that. Looks like, yeah, live on McLaren HQ. So that's the other thing to think about. This is being aired on The Real Deal, McLaren HQ YouTube channel, Saturday, December 1st from 7 to 9 p.m. GMT. All right, what else we have? Williams Esport enters strategic partnership with Razer. So the Williams Esport team has brought on another gaming industry. Just, again, look at the pattern we're seeing. Esport's been going on for, what, 5-6 years? How long do you... I mean, really, Street Fighter tournaments would go back decades at this point. Yeah, Gamer Muscle and I had a little contact, but you know what? He's about the classiest guy on earth, and he did something that I would have been known for doing. He hit me, and after a very heated battle, he got into the back of me, and spun me out. And it was the final lap even, which means if there's ever a time you take off the gloves and go bare knuckle, it's that final lap. But he pulled over, and he let me have my position back. So anyway, it was very cool of him. Anyway, but look at how quickly the esport world is gaining those sponsorships that have been known to be in the real esport world. So again, I talk about Razer there. Yesterday, I talked about motivation. Remember, we talked about getting fit. We talked about doing things, you know, Brendan Lay, and doing things to become better versions of ourselves. You want better or more motivation? We talked about Billy Monger. Was that only like a year ago that Billy Monger was in a horrific accident and lost his legs? This was like a young phenom who was just, you know, getting his real start. Anyway, here's a great video by BBC Three. And there's Billy's mum, very British. And they are showing him and his whole story. But what's going on right now is I saw a different article. It might have been on this one. But he's actually passed the get out of the car test. I can't remember what they call it. But, you know, if you're a driver in a Formula car, you need to prove that you're able to get out of the car on your own in a certain amount of time should there be an accident and fire. And so despite not having the use of his legs, or not having legs is even more accurate, Billy Monger has gone from losing his legs, which would put most people to the point where they just never would do much of anything. I mean, it might be anything. That might be the end of their lives, so to speak. But Billy is fighting his way back and apparently doing very well. And anyway, I can't think of more motivation than this. I mean, the only other person who's maybe inspired me in that same level might be an Alex Zanardi. Because it's like, wow, things that would just shut people down completely for life. There, Spatial Tim, you mentioned it as well. So anyway, are you guys having an argument? I hope you guys, I just see somebody, hey, no insults, no, don't do that here, you guys. When I talk about you guys being the star of the show, it's because we're here to talk about sim racing. And have you ever heard me say we're here to argue about sim racing? Come on, no argument. Keep it cool. Keep it good, guys. I want this to grow, and if everyone starts doing that, then people aren't going to want to hang out here. And I want everyone hanging out here. So, anyway, no, you know, unless it's really slamming, derogatory or something, we don't need to blue hammer. But come on, guys, be cool. I missed it. Somebody can inform me later if it's worthy of knowing. Expert Reviews has their article on the best racing games on the PS4, Xbox One in 2018. And the reason I do mention these articles and where I get a little critical sometimes of their opinion is these might be the suggestions that are turning somebody who's never sim raced into a sim racer, and I'd like them to be given the right path, right? I mean, let's grow this thing. But anyway, Forza Motorsport 7 is one of their picks there. Best racing game for Xbox One, they're saying. I have no real argument for that. GT Sport for the PS4, must buy for PS4 owners. I love hearing that. Assetto Corsa for the PS4 or the Xbox One. Best racing sim. I think that's a worthy suggestion. Dirt 4 for either console, PS4 or Xbox One. Best rally sim. Got to agree there. Forza Horizon 3, so maybe they didn't take into account 4. They're saying get both. Anyway, Forza Horizon 3, I have no real argument. F1 2018 for the best career mode. Hey, you know what? I agree with you there too as well. So my hat's off to Expert Reviews. They're calling Forza Horizon 3 the best arcade racer. So they're even clearly making the differentiation between game and sim, or arcade and sim. So anyway, what else we have to talk about today? This is interesting. Audi becomes a cooperation partner of an esport team. What's interesting, I saw this and I'm like, oh wow, look, we're growing. Except in this case, it was the Focus clan, and I think they're known for like Madden tournaments, FIFA football. They're a EA Sport team, so it was just Audi getting in on the whole esport action, not necessarily the sim racing side of things. this is a tech article I'll cover, even though we're trying to trim some of the techie stuff. But Tech Power Up talking about Steam VR's motion smoothing exits its beta stage. It's enabled now by default on Windows 10 PCs with NVIDIA GPUs. But I've heard good things from people. Like, I don't know when I've had it or not because I don't use it on a daily basis. But that is good news, and I know that it's getting better and better. Steam VR was a little clunky and weird at first, but they've been working on it hard, and from the time that I tried it with a Windows mixed reality headset, it was really weird, but I haven't used Steam VR since. That's not true. I did use Steam VR with iRacing at IAPA trade show on the VRX Sims. So I take all that back. But it's that could be, like, you've heard my opinion on VR since that event. It's grown on me. Like, I am more confident in VR post IAPA than I was prior to it. All right, what else? All right, I kind of have stopped covering Driving Italia because usually their stories don't have anything more than this, and the links don't even work because I'm using it through Google Translate. But this one I just had to mention about because I'm just such a huge GPL. Grand Prix Legends. GPL 2 League, the return of the legendary tournament, with the release of the incredible Assetto Corsa Grand Prix Legends mod, which we talked about, of course, and then they have a link to the direct download, by the way. We could not resist the temptation of a nostalgic dip in the past. When 18 years ago, the Driving Italia launched with great success, even among beginner virtual pilots, the legendary Grand Prix Legends Grand Prix League tournament. At the time, with the unforgettable Grand Prix Legends. Anyway, they are doing a new one with the Assetto Corsa GPL mod, and this might be fun for you guys to go enter. So right here today, we want to make you relive the excitement of the run to this link for pre-registration. So again, if you're looking for a cool GPL style league, that could be fun for you guys to go do. I don't have enough time, to be honest with you. I'm not going to be able to do it, but it's one I would probably consider. HTC files for Vive Cosmos VR headset trademark. We don't know what that means. It's at Road to VR, but it just means that HTC is looking towards the future. But who knows? That could be like the Oculus, like whatever they call their cheaper one. That's not the direction I'm looking to go, guys, but we don't know. And with that, we talked about the Vive and the McLaren limited edition Vive Pro. Anyway, they now have some bizarro thing, Vive Port. So if you're a member of Vive Port, it's going to put you in R Factor 2 as well. So anyway, there's some kind of integration and things going on. And for you Vive people, it might be worth checking out the story there. That's all I'm going to say about that. And to finish things off today, SimRacer.es talking about the Fanatec CSL Elite F1 Esport Bundle F1 2018. And here is the bundle. This is exactly what the guys were using in the competition. And that bundle there would be $615 basically, VAT included, depending on where you are. My question to you guys is, when I think of the esport world and them putting it out there to the general public, it is to people who maybe play Gran Turismo and aren't sim racers per se. That's a lot of money, $615. Is that, so my big question of the day, and what I'll finish your thought with today at least is $615, if somebody came to you tomorrow and said, what is it going to cost me to get into sim racing? Is this a starting point to you? For me, that seems like a really high price for an entry point into that, but maybe in the esport world, maybe they're not promoting it as an entry point. They're entering it as a competition level package. I don't know. It was just, I kind of saw that article and made me think, wow, $615. If your average gamer heard $615, they're probably not going to get into it. And meanwhile, I can give you a $300 option that's going to work, honestly, pretty much just as well for the most part. So anyway, that's going to do it for today's show. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for being part of the pit crew and just here to talk about sim racing and all things going on. We have so much to talk about each and every day, and I love hanging out with you. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. Get out there, do some sim racing. This is the Sim Pit. I'm Sean Cole, and I'll see you on the track.